What's up? What's up? How is everyone doing? Let me just fix my microphone. Oh, that's all right. All sorted. Yo, what's up? What's up? How is everyone doing? Yo, Jason, what's up, man? What's up? How is university going? Just wait for more people to enter the stream, and then I'll start asking like questions. In the meantime, I've got stuff to do. How's everyone doing with the self-quarantine thing? Because, yeah, man, and I don't even know how long it's going to last. So it's just like, any way we can entertain you guys, we'll try our best. Yo, Keezy, what's up? What's up? Sleeping every day at 5 a.m. Yeah, my sleeping pattern is like between 5 a.m. to like 2 p.m. It's terrible. Get Carsten on. Okay, let me message him now. Hold on. YouTube Avengers. Yo, Maxwell, what's up? Oh, so your sleeping pattern is between 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wait, let me message Carsten real quick. Hold on. Let me see if he's up for this. I messaged Carsten, so we'll see if he joins. All right, yeah, there we go. Are there any plans for the stream today? Not really. We're just gonna, these streams are really random, so things just happen. We should all style superhero fits. No way. Yeah, bro, your sleeping pattern's like done. It's gonna be like, yeah, 5 a.m. is the new midnight. Facts. In my bag. Yo, Dami, I literally just watched your video before I went live. He said, do you guys plan who goes live? Literally every day it's either Alec or Michael. Nah, it's just, it used to like happen randomly, but now we actually do like plan it. It's more of a thing where we're just like, who's going live today? And then someone volunteers, because we obviously got to keep the people entertained. What's the fit today? So a plain black t-shirt from Arquette, and then I'm wearing Nike joggers and Nike socks. I would say I love that there's stream every day. Yeah, we have to keep the people entertained, whether that's on my channel, Alex's channel, Alex's channel, everyone. Surprised Alex isn't on right now. He'll probably join at some point. I'm wearing Supreme leopard print boxers. That's oh my god. That's hilarious. Supreme leopard print boxers. You guys are actually hilarious. Oh yeah, fashion Fashion YouTubers that can't dress because all I wear is a t-shirt. Oh my god. He said the stream culture fully becoming a lifestyle. Do you know it's going to be really sad because after this whole coronavirus thing, literally there's just gonna like no one's gonna live stream anymore. Like people are gonna actually be busy. Like I'm gonna be at university, people are gonna start working again. So we have to cherish it while, you know, we have the time. Fit's weak, you're missing the Ford hat. No, I'm not wearing Supreme, bro. I'm a failure. It's peak. Keezy said I'll be on that list. Oh my god. Oh my. Bro, I'm not sure if Keezy knows, but like from time to time, I like had to address it in the video. Like people always comment, "Oh, bro, you talk about fashion all the time and you can't even dress." I'm like, bro, like the reason is because I film videos in my house, like in my bedroom. So I'm not gonna wear like an Isabel Beninato knit or like a Rick Owens like jumper just to sit in my room and talk about fashion. That's a bit pretentious. So they're like, "Oh my god, you're so." So I was my plan was in the summer I'll like start posting more fit pictures, and then obviously this whole thing happened, and that was it. Yeah, my plan out the window. He said views will drop so low when the virus is over. Wait, what did she say? I'm like the designers that dress all black, the sign of elegance. So do you know what it was? When at first I used to like just wear black, like Rick Owens, Yoji. I only used to wear like Yoji, Rick, and like Boris, Bajanta Berry, and like only black pieces. But now I'm kind of like off that. I'm starting to wear more and more color. Supreme is the real drip. Guys, if you don't know, this is Micah, and he's always trolling. I don't know why. Faucet drip. How bad is coronavirus in your area? In London, it's pretty bad to be fair. Really, really bad. Not as bad as like New York or Italy, but still like kind of bad. Quarantine fits are the hardest. You have to bust out the P, applying for the flex. The Office sucks. It's one person carrying the entire show. I'd never actually watched The Office, but like a lot of people talk about it. But yeah, I've never actually watched it. You go to LCS? No, so I'm going to CSM in September, but I don't know when that's actually going to start because of this whole thing, this whole virus thing. I just wear dark colors. I'm XT. I'm dead. Is it Micah the simp from the Discord? Yo, do you know what's funny? Micah's literally 2 rooms, like down there, so like he could literally come right now. Wait, let me call him to come and respond. He said, "Isn't Micah the simp?" I'm so dead. In London, 500 deaths. Really? That's crazy. That is actually crazy. I'm not missing out on The Office, so it's not really that good then. I take it. I take it. I take it. I still can't. It's so funny. This guy said Micah's the simp from the Discord. Wait, let me actually call Mike. This is hilarious. Wait, hold on. I'm actually gonna call him, even though he's like 2 rooms away. Wait, hold on. Bro, are you looking at the comments on the stream?
I'm not on it right now.
Okay, this guy's calling you a simp. What do you have to say to that?
Who is it?
Some guy. What's his name again? I feel like you'll recognize him because he's always trolling you. Yo Richie.
Oh, no, basically. I know what it's about.
Why?
Basically, obviously, because obviously man chats to nice girls, innit? So they were like, oh, well, actually, you know what? I'll come back on the live stream.
All right. Yo, Mike is on smoke. He said he's gonna come back on the live stream. What do you say? They turned Excel Center into a temporary hospital? No way. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, Whack and Mo, what's up? Mike is back. Chief is mad. Yo, everyone, go subscribe to these guys' channel. Whack and Mo, by the way. What do you think about Boris contracting corona? Kind of ironic since he didn't take it that seriously. Yeah, it is quite hilarious, to be fair. Because he wasn't taking it seriously. It's so ironic that he like got it. Yeah, that's quite jokes. Anyway, let's tailor the conversation to fashion. What questions do you guys have? How many guys are in the live stream? 40 people. So let's get the questions going. Enough about the sad talks about the virus. The point of the live streams is, you know, to change the mood a little bit. What do you say? I chat to nice girls. What? We're doing guests on the stream today. Maybe at some point. Maybe at some point. Maybe at some point. We'll see. Let me check my phone. Let's see who's available right now. We in here, boy. Connor Scoils Fashions. So I'm guessing Connor is what's his name? Meme Saint Laurent's friend. Carsten Kroning's friend, right? I don't know. I don't know what his style is like. I've just seen a couple videos of him and he was wearing like CCP. That's all I really know. Just that he wears CCP. When did I realize? What were we talking about? I want to get Dammy in here to chat on the whole defining streetwear. Yeah, that would be really cool. So if you guys, I'll show you guys his video, actually, because this is actually quite a cool video for you guys to check out. I literally, before I joined this live stream, this was what I watched. I was like literally watching this video as I was setting up the live stream. So basically, Dammy made this video. How do I share my screen again? Oh yeah. So he made this video that was about talking about like what he defines streetwear as. So it's this video here. And in this video, he was basically talking about what the true definition of streetwear is, because when people think of streetwear, it's synonymous with like things like Supreme and Palace and stuff like that. So that's a really, really cool video to check out. How important is styling in terms of the quality of a collection? It's really important only because when it comes to styling, a lot of people that aren't into fashion don't understand that like fashion shows are artistic expression. So to appeal to a wider audience, the way you style things can mean the difference between people thinking something is wearable or not. Because in a lot of runway shows, a lot of the stuff is quite easily wearable. It's just the way they style it is so abstract that people just assume everything's unwearable. What do you think about chrome hearts? Not gonna lie, and I've had people have asked me about chrome hearts before. I'm not the most knowledgeable person about chrome hearts. I really don't know anything about chrome hearts, to be fair. I only know that their stuff has crosses on it, and people respect the jewelry and stuff. I'm not the biggest chrome hearts historian, but I'm sure there'll be some people in this live stream that could be able to tell you about chrome hearts, but definitely not me. What do you think is going to happen now that you can't do shoots or shows anymore in fashion? Well, luckily, I can make YouTube videos. I don't know. Who I feel sorry for is like fashion students, because a lot of fashion students, like third years, they have the graduate fashion collection, obviously, which is like their chance to first get seen by like editors and fashion magazines and stuff. And it's crazy that for the first time, students aren't going to have a graduate collection. Like, they're the most unfortunate set of students I've ever seen, because graduate shows can literally go from like someone being relatively unknown to like people having a viral moment that's shared by like Dazed and ID and everyone, and they just overnight become successes, and they've kind of been robbed of that opportunity. How did your parents feel about you getting into fashion rather than continuing engineering? Funny enough, they're not too bad. I wouldn't say my parents are the most traditional African parents, to be fair, compared to like some of my friends anyway. Why brand so depressed, bad dark colors, emo alternative trends. Really like the length of Dammy's vid, perfect to take a little nap while watching it. Opinions on Alessandro's Gucci. So I'm a big fan of Alessandro Michele's Gucci. The thing I like about, the person who was the designer of Gucci before Alessandro Michele was Frida Giannini, if I can remember correctly. And then before then, it was Tom Ford. So with Tom Ford, obviously Gucci has never been minimal, but it was kind of like a minimal take on Gucci. That was what Tom Ford did. And it was big. People that liked that aesthetic liked it. Frida Giannini was just a mess and obviously destroyed Gucci, and Alessandro Michele basically came in and saved the brand. What I like about Alessandro Michele, not only is it like the opposite of what Tom Ford did at Gucci, it's maximalism. And normally I absolutely despise maximalism, because it's just this thing where people think if you just mash as many colors as you can, that's like amazing. Oh, we've got a wonderful guest. Yo, what's up?
What's happening, people?
Yo, what's up? I was just quickly talking about Alessandro Michele's Gucci. What do you think about Alessandro Michele's Gucci?
Deep question to start off, mate. Fucking hell. No, it's cool. It's nice. It's playful. It's I like the fact that he's literally created a universe for it and just stuck to it. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know if Gucci ever went in that direction prior to him. Then again, I'm not much of like a historian, so I wouldn't be able to point it out to you. But the fact that he took such a hard left to what it was before anyway, and then fully embraced it, even if parts of it, became trendy and then parts of it wasn't, the fact that he stuck to his gun and just did it, I love that. So yeah, I like it. I enjoy it a lot. I love a lot of the pieces.
Yeah, I was just telling people that because before like Alessandro, it was like Frida Giannini, Tom Ford. Those are kind of more minimal takes of Gucci. And with Michele, it's like really maximalist, but really tasteful. Because normally I'm not like the biggest maximalism fan, so to speak. But the way he does it, there's a way he does it I really love. So that's my take on. But anyway, we're not gonna bore you with deep fashion questions.
It's right, mate. It's right. Hit me. Hold on 1 second. I'll keep listening to you. I'm just going to sort out the lighting situation in here, just because it's
that's cool.
Fucking awful.
Let me go back to the questions. Someone said Mr. Cropped in the body.
Oh.
That's jokes. Yeah. Wait, so basically.
Oh yeah. Here. Sorry. My bad.
Oh, the lighting's way better now. Yeah. You just turn on your YouTube setup, like, yeah, I thought so.
I mean, there's just one fat light. There's another one that's over there, but I'm not going to bother turning that one up.
Yeah, so for everyone, the reason why Sanj is here, the great Sanj.
Do you mind if bro, I'm so not used to doing these live streams.
Yeah.
You run downstairs, grab my charger, but you do your thing.
Yeah. I'll literally tell them why you're here and everything. Cool. Yeah, so basically, the reason why Sanj is here is basically to give you guys insight, because a lot of people ask about like how to become a fashion YouTuber, what it takes, everything that goes into becoming a fashion YouTuber, kind of what he does outside of YouTube, because a lot of people think fashion YouTubers just do YouTube, and like majority, if not all, do a lot of stuff like interesting projects outside of it. So basically, That's what Sanj is here for.
Yes, people.
What spotted Rasim and CK Parker? Yeah, Sanj has the dope pieces.
Nah, not really, mate. Oh. All right, we're back.
Yeah, so basically, where we're gonna start is kind of like, what was the reason that you started your YouTube channel in the first place? If you can remember, because that's kind of a deep question, to be fair.
Yeah, okay. Why did I start my YouTube? It was at a time where I think I was a consumer first, so I personally loved YouTube. I've been watching it for years, various personalities, and it was something that, to be fair, I liked the thought of doing many years ago. Never had the balls for it to be in front of the camera and talk to it, so I kind of just didn't bother with it up until the time that I wanted to do it, right? And fuck me, sorry. And
all
then
the football sessions not coming in handy.
this lockdown has just shut everything out for me. And then where was I going with that point? Oh yeah, and then on fashion, there was just an element of, not an element, but like an area that wasn't being tapped, at least in my opinion. If you wanted high-end designer content, you would often find it on like proper publications, so like the Mr. Porters, the GQs. There wasn't really any personality driven content, and on top of that, I wasn't 100% agreeing to everything that those pages were saying, like the Mr. Porter and the GQs. So on one hand, you had a lot of like streetwear and personality driven fashion content. So like the OGs, I'm talking Fernando's, Kyron, Jake Keller, all them cats. And then on the other hand, when it comes to high-end fashion, you only had Mr. Porter, GQ, Esquire, and those sort of channels. So I was like, fuck it, let me just come in the middle.
Yeah.
And see if I'm just recovering and see if I can fill that void.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, because I remember when I first saw your channel was years ago. It was so unique because the people who I used to watch like fashion wise was like Unknown Vlogs. Do you remember Steve Booker?
Steve Booker.
He's like really like OG.
Really? Okay, no.
Yeah. He used to make like menswear, like kind of like menswear fashion, like the very overcoat type content.
Right. Okay.
And yours was quite different because in terms of like streetwear, there were a lot of channels that covered that, from like Kai's, Linda, like a lot. So yours was like such a unique kind of like take. So I always wanted to find out like why you started that. And yeah, it makes sense. Obviously, there wasn't too much of that content. So what would you say was when you decided to take it more seriously? Because a lot of people do start a channel, but they don't actually take the next step to like post more consistently, put more time into it. So when would you say that was?
Okay, so the way that I see it, I think I started the channel end of 2000, in October 2015 was when I opened the channel, and then I uploaded about 3 videos. I don't remember how consistent I was for those 3 videos, but I uploaded 3 videos, and then for some reason I was like, cool, well, okay, that's YouTube box ticked, and then I moved away from it. And it was stupid because I genuinely enjoyed making the videos, and I enjoyed the whole process, right? So did that, and then after those 3 videos, I just sort of sacked it off up until around March of 2016, and that's when I was like, even if you don't see yourself like an opportunity to become a YouTuber or to turn this a full time, why don't you actually be consistent and just post just because you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And so I started posting, or at least I tried to post once a week, pretty much for that whole year. That did well. And then I posted twice a week for a good chunk of time Like I want to say a whole year, but then I could be wrong here, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, I posted once a week, and then that's when I was like, oh, hold up. So at this point, I had a part-time job, and that's it. I only had a part-time job. I came out of uni, and that was my sort of sole consistent paycheck that I was getting. When it got to the point where YouTube was making as much as my part-time job, that's when I was like, okay, cool. There's an opportunity here, right?
Yeah.
So I kept my part-time job for an extra 6 months, up until the stage where it felt like, to me anyway, I was getting a decent amount on YouTube, and my part-time job money came through as like a bonus. And so that's when I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna quit and do social media full-time. And that was January 2018.
Yeah, I'm actually curious because you studied what was it, menswear at CSM? Did you ever like get into designing? Like, did you ever do a design job? I'm actually quite curious about that.
No, I didn't actually go into a design role. Not straight up. No, like I interned for a couple of designers, and also some of the third years, like helping out with their collection. But it wasn't really like a job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you've interned in a few places, so you kind of know that. As soon as I came out of CSM, I sort of fell into some styling roles, and then it was and then almost within 6 months of it all, I started social media. So I posted on YouTube, and then to be honest with you, like the time that I was posting, I'm very fortunate in the fact that it was at a good time. Like obviously currently, in a beautiful way, it's super crowded and super saturated. I think it's great, but it also means that there are more eyes. Therefore, you know, people need to really pick out what they want. At the time of me doing it, there wasn't the niche that I'm doing currently, which is now, you know, well documented, and there's more than one person doing it. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the quickest of growth.
Definitely,
It's one of those things where I was fortunate enough that it's been somewhat steady. It's been slow and steady, which is great because that means you've got somewhat of a reliable audience that have been, you know, that they've stuck through with you for a long time. And yeah, there hasn't been like a single spike. You know what I mean? And so that can usually fuck up your growth and the way you interact with brands and the way you create content and da-da-da.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to like kind of have a deep dive and ask you questions that like not the basic stuff that everyone asks you, but so essentially, do you reckon that your kind of like design background helps with how you see clothes? Because when I was watching your videos, something I noticed is like your understanding of like silhouette or dressing to the body, like what silhouettes work for the body. So if like short torso, obviously you can wear high-waisted trousers, and it makes things look better, like proportion wise, or you can talk about different aspects of a garment. Would you say your design background helps with that?
Thank you for the low-key compliment. Yeah, man, I think it's definitely plays into it. Like even if it's on a subconscious level, just the fact that I've seen it so much and I sort of understand it, I'm sure must play into it subconsciously. Like I don't actively think, oh, is this too short? Is this too long? No. I just throw it on if it feels good and I feel good and I look good and I think it looks good. Then I go with it. So yeah, I'm sure to a certain extent that understanding comes into play.
Oh, that's really cool. So when on YouTube would you say that you started to see some serious traction? Like what video was it?
Genuinely, there hasn't been like a single moment, and this is what I refer to as I didn't have a spike. Like I don't even think, if I was to look back at my YouTube channel now, sorry, I'm just on my phone, I'm not being rude. If I was to look back on my channel and type and go to like the most popular, like my most popular videos are like 180k, 140k, 130k. So it's not even like crazy numbers compared to some other content creators that have videos in like the millions or the 500ks or the whatevers. So I never really had like one video that completely took off and smashed it. It was more so continuously doing shit videos and shit videos and shit videos. And then eventually we're at a stage now where it's just like the videos are still shit, but at least, you know, there's more people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, Jason has a question for you real quick, if you can answer this.
Also, wait 1 second. How
Yeah.
does it, like, so this pops up on your channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. 1 second. I'm just going to am I cool to chuck it on my story and tell people?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Wait, someone said the boot ranking video was amazing.
Thank you. Yo, quick little heads up / announcement, whatever you want to call it. I am currently on AO's channel, The Fashion Archive. Swipe up if you wish to check out the live stream. Just answering a couple of questions, having a discussion, talking about fashion and all that other jazz. Boom.
Yeah, so back to Jason's question. Thank you very much for the low-key shout-out. Yeah, so you said, what difficulties would you say you're facing as a freelancer?
Damn, that's a very good question, especially right now. Bear with me, I'm still typing this shit, and then I've got it. What did I say? Oh yeah, live stream.
Obviously, there are going to be difficulties with shooting content as a result of the quarantine, and how are you trying to address / resolve these issues? Interesting. Let me go back. I think I missed some questions and some comments. Oh yeah, SANGIEV does speak French, by the way. Someone commented that.
And dabbling a bit of German, bit of Spanish and Italian.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just a question for once this train of thought is over. What difficulties would you say you're facing currently as a freelancer? I mean, the freelancer difficulty that everyone faces, I think, is obviously the lack of stability that our job presents. And yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, I'm fortunate and blessed enough to be in a position where, you know, I had a few chips stacked up, especially with regards to like branded partnership and so it hasn't hit me too badly. There are some brands that have delayed their payments, which is unfortunate, but also understandable. Like, you can't be too mad at it. They could have done things better, in my opinion, but you know, those are the only sort of difficulties that we have.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I don't know, because it's quite different. I'm like semi a freelancer because I was like also in like full-time employment.
Okay.
But yeah, basically as far as my job goes, that's done because coronavirus, I can't work at all. Yeah. So that's literally, I'm just living off the like 80% government fund.
Oh, okay. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, mad. Okay. Sick.
Yeah, so I got that. So that's basically it. And then freelance work, like I do like photography and videography on the side. Sick. Can't really do that as well because of coronavirus. So
you know that job, you know, your part-time job, are they still like, have you still got your job basically?
Yeah. I'm still under contract. They didn't like fire me or anything yet.
Sick. You know, a lot of places have actually had to let go of people though.
Yeah, I've heard.
Up, but
I have like friends who have lost jobs as well. It's terrible.
That's mad.
Yeah, wait, let me go through these comments quickly. Guys, if you have any deep questions for Sanj, now's your time to ask.
Deep questions.
Wait, 30 minutes on a fast train.
Yes, Linda, that is why it's important to have many sources of revenue. That is
facts.
101 right there.
Someone's asking you, what's your job? I think they're asking you,
Is it to me, Miles? If it is, then I would say currently, like my number one source of income is social media. And then on the side, I do some consulting and that's it. Oh, and like, obviously every now and again, I'll design a piece, be it jewelry, be it whatever it may be.
Yeah. All right. So another question for you is, in terms of like your style, quote unquote, evolution, what influences your like style? Because as someone that's watched your videos for years and years, like I've literally seen your style completely change, like gone a complete 180. Like you used to wear like CPs and wide pants. You dress very much like you know James?
As in which
You're
James?
James. You're
Okay,
James.
yeah.
Yeah. You kind of dress really similar, and then eventually you kind of went in a way where like you just dressed like totally your own way.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing, especially with style, and something that I've always preached on the channel, and I hope that people, you know, take into consideration, is the fact that I personally never like to be boxed in. So I don't like the idea of like a uniform, which is perfectly fine, and I respect it so much for the people that do have uniforms. But I personally don't like that. Like, to me, dressing is a way of expression, is a way to have fun. So I was never one to just, you know, always have one particular style. So even though, you know, from your point of view, I'm doing a 180 or whatever, like, to me, that's always been one of the things that's been in the back of my mind. Like, even today, obviously people might be like, oh, why do you not wear skinny jeans as much? And it's just like, I do wear skinny jeans.
Yeah, you just when you feel like it. Yeah.
I just don't necessarily show it or like take pictures or videos or whatever, because when you're putting content out, although we're documenting our everyday or whatever it may be, like style wise, it's still like, I still want to bring something fresh and new. Like, I don't want to give you the same outfits all the time.
Yeah.
Because then, I don't know, it's just boring, and it's just like, why would you watch my new video if it's going to be the same ideas and the same styles that you can find 3 videos ago? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always like, okay, cool, how do we make it fun, exciting, and refreshing whilst also being honest and being who you are?
Yeah. So a big thing we've been talking about, like, over the past few live streams, so we've been talking about how, like, a lot of YouTubers, like, in your kind of like era, so to speak, or like they all stop making. You're not that old, don't worry.
Cool.
But no, like, in terms of OGs, basically, how come, like, basically the complimentary spin, but how come a lot of you have stopped making content? So we've got like we're talking about how basically a lot of you have like moved on.
Yeah.
So from like Avery to Fernando to like Jacob to Magnus. So is that kind of like just a progression where YouTubers, because we were talking about, is it just like a means to kind of
I think it's 100% somewhat of a platform, or I don't want to use the word stepping stool, just because it almost had like a negative connotation of like, you grew this platform up and then you use that to bounce and then not give a fuck about the people that you connected with. That's not at all what I mean by as a stepping stool, but like, it's definitely a platform that allows you to branch out and go and do your thing. Now, just because you're very passionate about video creating doesn't mean that you can't be passionate about something else, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people, especially the sort of OGs or the older cats, they were able to use the platform that they've created and then go into something that they're more passionate about, which I'm all for, especially if it means that, say you're not that passionate about videos, but you're just churning them out just because you know A, it's going to give you good money, or B, you're just going to grow your clout. I'd rather you focus and dedicate on something that you're super passionate about and that you want to do great at, than something that you're just aware of, like, yeah, I'm just going to keep pushing this out. It's going to do well, but I don't really give a fuck about it. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm not speaking for anyone, by the way. I'm not saying the Averys and the Fernandos, but all of them have now, you know, they're in a position where they're doing something they love and they're super passionate about. Be it Fernando with his stores, Silver Leagues, Unsound Rags, Avery,
definitely.
Jacob Keller with Bare Knuckles, Jacob Wallace with
creative projects. We'll just put it that way.
Scamming cargoes,
and not shipping for 6 months, but
and Magnus Good Morning. So the thing is, though, out of those guys, I know that Magnus still wants to create content. It's just right now, anyway, we're just in a weird time where I think what you're doing and what you guys are doing with the whole live stream is great, because it just allows you to be instant. It's out and you're good. But as you know, like, filming right now is a bit sticky.
It is. Not gonna lie. Wait, so many people have questions, right? So he's asking, do you approach brands or do they approach you?
I'm fortunate enough the fact that they approach me. Plus, it's one thing. It's something that I've always found weird. The idea of approaching brand, just because the way that I explain it is this, and it's a bad way to look at it, but that's just the way that I do. Imagine you coming up to a brand, or me telling you, right, Ayo, you've got this brand. What you're doing right now is great, but I can do something better.
Yeah.
So allow me to show you how I do it better.
Yeah.
And you better cut that check. Which is
I see that mindset. Yeah.
Completely understandable, and that is how business works. Like, you provide a service and you ask to be paid for it. But when you're the one doing the asking, I find it's weird to be able to negotiate a good, whatever. So I just sort of wait, and then they hit me up anyway. And I think I speak for most people, super selective with the people that you work with, despite what people may think. And it's just worked in our favor for now, so we're good.
Yeah, someone said, what are both of your biggest accomplishments in fashion so far? So I'll let you go first, and then
you go first.
All right. Biggest accomplishment, probably my internship at Stella McCartney, only because of the role it was. It wasn't just like a random. It was like I was a materials engineer. So I was doing product testing for like materials and garments and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, what was yours?
She uses some really cool and interesting material.
Yeah, she does.
Which actually makes the job worthwhile, as opposed to another designer that might just use like the regular materials.
Yeah.
That's sick though. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What are your biggest accomplishments in the fashion industry thus far? I think if we're talking with regards to what others might consider an accomplishment, then definitely getting into CSM is huge, monumental. In fact, it's definitely allowed me to open some doors. Even if I dropped out of it, just the fact that I went there and I'm able to back my point up is usually more than enough. But I would say it's not an accomplishment in the industry as much. It's more so an accomplishment in life through fashion, which is, the ability to do what we do, travel the world, put food on our plate, a roof over our head for both myself, my family.
Yeah.
And to do so whilst being honest and 100% ourselves, as opposed to bending down to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that. I still have to bend down for my bosses, but one day, soon land. Yeah, Alec is asking, what passion project do you have on the back burner?
You always wanted to do. It hasn't been announced yet, but I guess I can talk about it anyway. I mean, I think we all know that. Well, not all know, but like, I think I speak for most people on YouTube, especially fashion YouTubers, that are passionate about fashion. I hate that line, but I just used it. They all in some way, shape or form would love to create their own line and their own clothing. So that's definitely something that I've been working on for a long time. And I finally get to do it properly. And I'll be able to delve more information with regards to it very soon. But that's the passion project in the back burner that I've been working on for the past couple of months. Properly for the past couple of months, but passively for a couple of years. Yeah,
I even so as you can see, like when we first started talking, I conveniently dipped in that you went to CSM. The reason I actually did that, obviously apart from asking the question, was because a lot of people I've seen, when a YouTuber like makes a brand, they just see it as like a YouTuber brand. First of all, like it's just a YouTuber merch, whatever. And people need to understand that most fashion YouTubers actually work in the industry and do have like a lot of pedigree in terms of design. So people do need to understand that your perspective is not just one of like, oh yeah, I like clothes, I'm gonna come up with this idea, make a shitty brand and make loads of money and then move on. So it's good that people actually know that. Someone's asking about reworn, actually.
It's always going to be, okay, cool, I'll answer that. It's always going to mean, that's one of the challenges that we're always going to be facing though. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if even if like I pulled out the craziest design, whatever, and then I showed you everything that I need to show you, people are still, a couple of people here and there are still going to refer it as a YouTuber brand. And at first I was like, it's a bit unfair and it's a shame, but at the same time, it's just another hurdle that you're going to have to jump over.
Yeah.
And once you leap over it, I'm sure it's going to feel great, or at least I hope so.
Yeah, back to Jason's questions. He's asking you about Reworn.
Are you finding the whole Reworn brand during this time as well? Sanj, do you have any projects in the pipeline on the repurposed front? So just to shed more information with what Reworn is a brand, or is an umbrella brand that primarily focuses on vintage garments. Now, if you're aware of me and my channel, a lot of the stuff are designer, but I also sort of balance it with a lot of vintage garments. And so I've got like a huge passion for vintage clothing. I think I've already said it, but anyway, like it's the way forward. Not that it's a trend or anything. Like to me, whatever you're able to find on the high street, borderline or forward slash, even whatever you're able to find on designer clothing, you will be able to, find the OG pieces in some vintage stores, especially if they're super well curated, or if you have a good eye for it, or if you have time for it. And so my friend wanted to launch his own vintage clothing, and I was like, okay, cool. He was like, would you be able to help me out and give me some pointers here and there? So I was like, okay, cool, definitely gonna jump on board. I won't be able to dedicate my whole time for it, just because realistically speaking, I couldn't. So I took the rework branch and I was like, let me handle that, and that is fully myself. And then let me assist you on Reworn and Released. And so we've dropped it, we divided it into 3 branch. Reworn, which is just vintage garments, so that we source and that we source and sell. Released is almost like branded. I mean, one way to put it would be like merch, but done on vintage garments. So you're still, helping the system in one way, shape, or form. And then Reworked is completely taking apart garments and then reconstructing them and just having fun with it. So how was it during this time? Obviously during the quarantine, during the lockdown, it's a bit weird, it's a bit quiet, but you'd be surprised, like people are still shopping. I've speaking to a couple of people from like Essence and Matches, and they're saying that people are still shopping, they're still getting a lot of traction.
People have money, damn.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like at this point it's just like whatever money they would normally spend on, like, and this is proper first world problems, but like like going out, drink, socializing, all that shit, they can now just save up on that and just cop whatever they want to cop. Like as long as they've got their rent, bills, and food covered, they're fine. So
for mere mortals like me, we have the uncertainty of what's going to happen after.
Exactly.
This is a really good question, actually.
Opinion on the Raf I Love New York jumper. Is it too much of a meme piece, or is seeing the Hive sweater, as a meme and the latest view on things? How would you answer that question?
Okay, so I have like really balanced viewpoints on things like this. So the issue I have with and I know you had the Raf NY jumper thing. You did, didn't you? So the issue I have with pieces like that is, so there's 2 types of people, basically, how I see it. There's the people that buy what they truly love and what they like, and there's people, and this is like what I consider you to be, for example, like everything you buy is what you like, hyped, not hyped, whatever. And then there's people that specifically only buy what they see is hyped on Instagram, and that's where I think his perspective is from. But like not everyone's like that, and it's good to note not everyone's like that. So a lot of pieces that people think is memey, for example, like people will say like Issey Miyake own police trousers are memey, but there's people who it fits their aesthetic.
You're on that stage now with those trousers.
Yeah, it has. It has. It really has. So some people would say like it's a meme. And like, oh, it's trendy, whereas there are actually people who really do genuinely like it. But I do also understand that there's a lot of people who are like getting into fashion, and instead of them to buy what they truly like or what fits their aesthetic more, they're more. Did you just fart?
Bro, I tried to keep it low-key. literally trying to keep it so low key. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to act like I just something. And then the last one came out
That
and
is
it
so
was dead
hilarious.
on. And I was like, yo, commit to
That
it.
is so funny. Okay, let's just pretend that never happened.
And I saw your facial expression change as well, and I was like, "Yep, he's clocked. He's clocked." Now, is he going to be a real one and not mention it? But no, of course he goes and mentions it. It's like,
I'm a savage, bro. You know this. I'm a savage. But what was I even saying? Yeah, so there's like people who are just getting into fashion, basically, who I feel like they're not being themselves in terms of every single piece they buy almost is what's trendy on Instagram, like exclusively, and you can see that like trend. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. What's your opinion? I'd like to know.
I mean, you've pretty much hit it like on its nail. Hit it on its nail. Hit the nail on its head.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Hit the nail on its head. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, no, you've pretty much answered it, man. I mean, I definitely agree with the last part of the question, which was something along the lines of, is it an elitist view of things? Because let's be honest, yes, it's a meme piece, but at the same time, it's not a piece that, how do I say this? Like, it's not a piece that is easily accessible. I feel like for a piece to be somewhat memey, to me anyway, it needs to be somewhat accessible, because then it can hit the masses. So if it's a piece that is somewhat limited, for it to be memey is a bit like, okay, I don't personally see it as that. But no, you're absolutely right. Like, some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna just buy it for the fact that it's hyped. I personally love the cut of it more than anything. I've worn the jumper inside out, where you don't see the design as much, and that's my take on it.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the YouTube stuff, what is like your process in terms of when you like decide to make a video? Like, do you consider things like, oh, is this going to work well SEO wise, or do you just come up with an idea and then, I'm just going to make it?
It's just like, I come up with the idea and I'm just going to make it. And I think if I was smarter about it, I could be doing better. It's definitely my downfall, if you want to call it that. But it's just like, I don't know, like, even when I create with other creators, and I respect it so much, like, I find it fascinating, like, when they just do their thing and they, prior to even filming it, they know exactly how they're going to title it. They sort of have an I is going to be. Like, I respect that so much. Like, I am such I don't have a script. Like, even you, obviously, your videos are different because they're very educational based, so you need somewhat of a concise, bullet points topic, so that you're not just waffling on. But like, people have scripts, people have this. Like, I usually film the outfits that I want to showcase or whatever it may be, put the camera on and just talk and talk and talk and talk. And usually a video prior to editing would be like 30-40 minutes, which I then cut down to 15.
That's crazy, because I always thought the way you talk about garments is so like cohesive. I was just wondering, it almost sounds like you have a script, because it's just like you talk about it so perfectly. You're like, and I like the silhouette and the cut, and I'm just like, why does it sound so smooth?
Editing, mate. Editing magic. Editing magic. That's what it is. No, it's literally just me speaking and the piece, and then, bro, I mean, obviously you never get to see the original, but fuck me, I can speak, and I say this often, like, I can speak about one particular piece for 10 minutes. Easily, just by going crazy and whatever. No. So from those 10 minutes, I then cut out 9 minutes and 30 seconds, keep 30 seconds of valuable information, and I'm like, cool, boom, move next.
How do you select that out of 10 minutes? Like, what you would deem the most valuable information?
Well, it's quite interesting, actually, because I find the whole 10 minutes interesting, but then I'm like, Sanj, not everyone gives a fuck like you. So I almost sort of put myself in a situation where it's just like, what would a complete stranger? And that's why having people like, my brother, or people that I'm aware of, people that aren't that into fashion, it's like, would they find this appealing? What would they find interesting? And obviously, at the end of the day, like, I'd like to think I'm a pretty good judge of like what's interesting and what's not. That's what we've been doing for so long. So if I'm talking about the shape of a garment, and I know that it has some crazy fabric, I'd rather mention the fabric than the shape, especially if it's basic ass shirt, it may be. And obviously by practice of doing so, you sort of end up knowing what you're going to say. Hence why people say the whole like cropped in the body. Because genuinely, it's a style that I love, and it's something that I personally look out for in garments. So whenever I buy stuff that I love, I'm obviously going to have a very sort of similar look to it. So
someone's asking, what is the biggest mistake we've made on our channels? Quite a deep question, to be fair.
Mistake? Is it really arrogant if I think like I've made no mistakes? It's not even
really arrogant. Yeah, you can say you haven't made a mistake.
I don't think I've made a mistake. Like, to me, when I make, I don't know. I was going to say, to me, when I make a mistake, it's something that I regret. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment to say. Like, a mistake is something that is somewhat regrettable.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any videos that I've published that I regret. So, I don't know if I have any mistakes.
Yeah. For me, it's like hard to judge that, because essentially what happens is, so basically what you do, I kind of envy, like in a good way. The reason is because, so when I first started making videos, I'd make a video on like the Antwerp 6, right? But obviously you can't talk about the Antwerp 6 in detail unless it's like a 10-hour video. So I'd have to summarize and just talk about basically the basic stuff about their career, and it'll end up being like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, you don't know anything about the Antwerp 6, and it's like, you do know, like, this is literally a summarized video.
Yeah.
So then I was just like, oh, okay, fair enough. So then I started making separate videos about each designer, each. So that's why I then started doing that.
Okay.
And I feel like now my videos don't appeal to a wider audience. They appeal to a very niche set of groups. So I need to find a way to balance both. Yeah,
no, I completely agree. And I think having a niche is beneficial. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'm a prime example of that, in the sense of, if I wanted to, and I could have gone down the route of like the Alpha M's and the what's that other guy's name?
Teaching Man's Fashion.
One. Yeah. I respect their hustle so much. I mean, these guys fucking crank out videos daily, and they fairly high production. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's no joke. Like, even if it's not my cup of tea, I take my hat off massively for it. But yeah, being niche is definitely has its challenges. And another thing that I wanted to mention is the fact that I respect educational creators so much more, just because a lot of what I show is very much opinion driven, right? I show the pieces that I like. I will discuss things on the stuff that I like. Like, you can have your own opinion, but it's hard for you to say I am wrong unless we're stating facts. Yeah. You guys are stating facts, and yet we have some fucking idiots chatting shit in the comments. I'm like, how are you thinking against facts? Like, I just don't get it. And like, fashion obviously is still somewhat of a subjective field. Yeah. So there is an element of like, what becomes a fact and what becomes an opinion. There's a blurry line. Yeah, there is. 100%. As to like what makes a good design, for example. Do you know what I mean? But when I'm looking at other YouTubers that are in different fields, be it, scientific or whatever, and I read through the comments, and I'm just like, yo, I don't get how these educational YouTubers, and I don't want to class you as just educational, but I think the bulk of what you do is very much driven on like facts and I again respect it massively, because you're fucking dumbasses in your comments sometimes. Not you, I'm just saying sometimes.
I don't know, it's really hard, because it's like, so someone's asked me this question the other day, so I go really deep on like where I get my sources from. So like, I made a video about Ray Kawakubo. This is a perfect example. So before I made that video, I read 5 books about Ray in detail. So when I then made the video, yes, it was summarized, but all my sources came from basically every single interview she's done, which aren't many, plus books written about her by respected journalists. So the facts were so accurate and then you still have someone saying, "Oh, your opinion on collection 4, the inspiration was wrong." And I was just like, and I was looking at my script. I literally had it like in my face, and I was like, "But Ray said it herself. She said it herself that this is what it means." So from that point, I just realized that you can't win. You just have to leave some battles sometimes.
Yeah. No, respect.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wait, there's so many comments. Wait, hold on. Someone said, "Thank you for representing the Asian boys."
Chase!
Asian community. Oh, someone said, "What's your opinion on the Avisu Palace collab?" I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Even aware of such a thing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, let me have a look.
Flying through the questions. Three biggest purchase regrets.
Ooh. Thing is, like, I'm very harsh with regards to like what I. Yeah, no, that's bullshit. No. I'm just thinking like if it's something that I regret, within weeks I normally flip it. So like I wouldn't even have it, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I've. I mean, it's not a regret because I enjoyed it, and I think it's definitely part of like, you know, part of fashion history, at least recent history. But like something like the Triple S, for example.
Yeah.
Great sneakers. I loved them at the time. And I still believe that in 10, 20 years, you might be able to pull them off and pull them out of the box, sorry. And
I agree, yeah.
But it was definitely a purchase that I made knowing of the whole bubble that came with it.
Yeah.
So whether one might consider that to be a regret, it's up to you. Am I trying to sell them? Yes. Would I be happy if I just kept them and just left them there? Sure. But it's like, you know, it's one of the things as well where it's like it comes with time. Like I've been into fashion or whatever you want to call it for 10 years now, or a little over 10 years properly, with regards to like my own taste and what I like in clothing. And it's only now 10 years into it that I know exactly what silhouette I like for sneakers, for example, the smallest sneakers. So I think I'm sure throughout my life I've had many regrets, especially when it comes to fashion purchases. But they're like, I'm not going to look at them as regrets, if that makes sense. Like I'm.
Yeah. A question I'd like to ask you actually is when you shop, what things do you consider? Because the mistake I always made, like when I first got into fashion anyway, I'd see a piece that's like really nice.
Yeah.
And I'd buy it, but it doesn't actually work in my wardrobe, so I'll end up not wearing it, even though I actually like the individual piece, so to speak. Okay. So do you like buy it based on the piece, or
what do you mean by it doesn't work with your wardrobe?
So for me, my wardrobe consists of like mainly blacks, greys, navies, khakis. So wearing a like jacket that I liked, it was an Acne Studios jacket. It's so out of touch with like the rest of my wardrobe.
Okay, so what was going through your mind when you purchased it then? You were just like, I like this piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But you could see no way of it including in your wardrobe.
I could see, obviously, like I could see some way, but it'd just be like the basic like black, wear everything black, and then like wear a yellow jacket.
Okay.
So it's just a bit.
I feel you, but then I feel like that's one way to just keep yourself caged in. And it's interesting because you're not the first person to say that. So many people say that exact line. Just like, they bought it, but then they just weren't sure what to wear with it. And it's like, well, you're gonna buy that one thing that's gonna push you out your boundary, and then hopefully you're gonna buy another thing that's gonna either complement that or push you in a completely different direction. And then the third item comes in that might bridge the two. And I think that's one way to really push your style out there, because there are definitely some pieces that I've purchased where it's just like, okay, cool, that goes with nothing in my wardrobe. Actually, that's a lie. There's nothing that I think goes with nothing in my wardrobe. But say there was a piece that's just like mad crazy. I know that if I love it now and I think it looks amazing on me, I know that I will find pieces that are complementary towards it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like I don't know, one way to visually explain it would almost be like a pyramid of sorts, where you have your foundation of like the blacks and the stuff that you can get away with.
Yeah.
And then as you stack each stone on top of each other with the wilder pieces, you will find that in one way or another, you're going to find interlinking stones that will lead to the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's I think, do you know what it is? So I think another thing that was like in my head that made me consider it is like, especially like expensive pieces, is like how many times am I gonna wear it? And like based on like how much money I spent on it, it's like like for how many times I'm gonna wear it, is it really worth it type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know this. Like, I'm a massive advocate of, like, the pound per wear thing, right?
Yeah.
and that thing, I don't stick by that rule as much these days, just because some of my spending habits have just gone crazy and it's just disgusting. But I still very much like to abide by it. And if I, you know, just forget the pieces that you spend a lot of money, let's just say you get something for like anywhere between 50 to 100 quid, which, you know, some people do think twice about. If you know that you're able to wear it at least 50 times, then amazing. If not, don't get it unless you know that you're able to recuperate your money once you sell it. And that's something that you mentioned in your video. I think it was, you did it with your sister. And you were just like, well, she was like, it's a basic ass shirt. And you're like, yeah, it might be basic, but at least I know that I can flip it and I'll get most of my money back.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question, actually.
Sanj, do you have any advice on how I can try convince my Asian parents to let me do fashion design? They won't let me take it seriously, and I think I'm tweaking hard. That Indian as fuck as well. Belt and all. Fuck. No, keep it legit, bro. We've all been through it. Yo, it's super tough. Like, I know I say this so much, but
do they want you to be like a doctor or a dentist?
Oh,
or something?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, standard.
I grew up with, like, I smashed my GCSEs, my A levels, got into really good schools, and da-da-da-da. So I went through that path, and it was just before I actually went to uni. I was like, Mum, like, I'm really not feeling it. Like, genuinely, like, I'm just don't enjoy it. And like, I would do it because at that point, and I feel like a lot of immigrant kids, especially when they have parents that sort of, you know, did everything they could in order to provide a better future, in the back of your mind, you're always like, fuck, I need to do this for my parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I knew that regardless, I would go down the path of like being a doctor or whatever, just to make them happy, because I know that they've sacrificed so much for me. But I was like, yo, prior to me doing that, please give me 1 year where I'm gonna just do me. And see if I can find something else that I can do that would fulfill my happiness. And so I went down that path. Man, when they're really strict, it's super tough.
It is.
Genuinely, you need to have, like, I was blessed in the fact that I had an amazing relationship with my parents, and and I know that people might not be so fortunate. So either, you know, sit down, have a deep conversation, and really break it down and be like, yo, even if it's like a year period, which is what I was given. I was given a year to trial, and then in that year, that was when, because up until that point, I just did sciences. Like, I didn't even do any arts. So you think about fashion, I was like, shit, I don't even know a thing about portfolio, da-da-da-da-da. And I used that year to kind of build a portfolio, went into the short course, and that's how I got into CSM, and then to do the BA. And so, yeah, and then once CSM came through, it was like, well, duh, you're going to take it. So advice would be, have a really deep conversation. It's not really good advice, but like, if you're 100% sure this is what you want to do, and your parents are going to beat the fuck out of you, you're just going to have to grow some cojones and just dip out the house. And this is awful advice.
What? Be homeless?
Yeah, but as in, like, you know, you're gonna have to do it on your own.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's tough, but so many people have done that. Like at CSM, there were so many people that weren't supported by their family, and they just did it on their own. So yeah.
That's really understandable. Someone asked, do you ever lose motivation with YouTube?
Oh yeah, big time. I think I'm too vulnerable, not vulnerable, but it's like, I think the thing that I moan about, and obviously you shouldn't care about views, da-di-da-di-da, all that bullshit, but when you're putting a fuck ton of effort
Exactly.
and it does not get half what you think it should get, and I keep my bar fairly low when it comes to views, just because I know it's like what I told you before, like it's always been somewhat slow and steady, so there's never been a massive spike. So I never put out a video and go, yeah, fuck yeah, this is going to do 1 million or 100K. So yeah, I think that's the only thing that I'm. What was the question again? Sorry. Oh, demotivating. Yeah, that's the only thing that's demotivating, is when you put a lot of effort and it doesn't get rewarded. But you just got to keep going.
Yeah. Someone said, what's your thoughts on BBS, Boris Bajantaberry?
No, I'm joking. Genuinely, I'm so unaware of that brand.
Yeah.
Like, I know Anthony DeLuca talks about it a lot. I know that it's very sort of avant-garde-esque. Is that right?
Yeah.
This is gonna sound really bad, but like, it's gonna sound awful, but to me, it's like BBS is like, you wanted to go for Rick, and it's like that meme where it says we have Rick at home, and then at home you have BBS. Like, that's the way that I see it. I could be so wrong, and that's such an ignorant thing.
No, to be fair, ultimately fashion's about opinions, and like before you said that, you did say you don't know like too much about the brand, but it's just based on what you have seen though.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, I don't think people should be, it's a bit different like if you're like, I looked at all the collections and then say,
there's some stuff that I've seen that I'm like quite cool, but for me, it's never really like peaked.
And to be fair, the BBS that like I'd say people see is like, I'm not sure if you've seen like the Bambas, the like 11 sneakers.
Okay.
Those are like really popular.
Oh, the two-tone sneakers.
Yeah.
Those are the only thing from BBS that I saw that I was like, oh shit, these are really nice. Yeah,
exactly. Someone's asking you, what grails have you wanted to get for a while?
Bro, so many. Like, I went through the world wish list. There is so many. Let me see one thing that I've had for a long time. I'm gonna give you 3. Okay, so there's this. I'm not gonna give you the. I don't even want to.
The list is about to be long.
Just in case these people like that shit. No, I'm joking. There is a pair of Babe Kanye Wests in my size that I love, that I really want to get. There is a Hyder Ackerman overcoat that so beautiful.
Wait, before you continue, actually, what do you think about? So I was talking to this guy the other day. And like we're both going to CSM in September, which is quite cool. But basically, he is
better fucking cut the check in this pod in this.
But he's a Hyder Ackerman fanboy. He runs this Instagram page, Hyder Ackerman Archive, I think.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, and he was saying that the quality on Hyder pieces has gone down. Do you agree with that?
Most, I don't know. It's a bit of a sticky one, because I find that it's something that a lot of sort of these archivists, people say with regards to brands, where they're just like, a Salon Paris back in Fall Winter 13 was like the peak of it, and everything else just fell in quality, and none of that. And same with Hyder, apparently. I don't think that's the case. Like, I don't think there's any brands, maybe this is me being naive, but I don't think there's any brands that have something that is really good and then purposely do it shitter. Unless they're just awful. Do you know what I mean?
It could happen if they're like profit margins, but yeah.
Yeah, but like even then, if it's a brand that's already quite expensive, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To go down in quality. So, but at the same time, I feel like I can't give you a concrete answer just because the newer pieces that I've purchased from Hydro Ackerman, for example, like last season, it was just a hoodie, which in terms of sweatshirts and hoodies, in my opinion, they've been somewhat consistent. And I was looking at an overcoat, which was fucking beautiful. But again, the content that was amazing. Now I don't own it, so I can't speak for it. But from when I tried it, it felt amazing. So I don't know if it's gone down in quality. I mean, if people say so, then so be it. But I think it's BS. I think it's one of those things where it's just like it makes you feel as though you know you knew about it in its peak type thing. I'm just like, nah, not really, mate.
Yeah. Keezy's asking, what is something that needs to change with fashion YouTube?
Ooh. Ayo,
deep questions.
Ayo, would you like to take the stage on that?
Not really. So at some point, remember, I think you saw it, the video I made where I was like, YouTubers don't support each other. And you had a lot to say about that.
Well, it's not even I had a lot to say. I just thought that was such bullshit when you said it. I was like, what are you talking about? And I completely see where you were coming from. But then I completely disagree because
it was so funny at the time. Sorry to cut you off. It was so funny at the time because immediately I said it. Bro, you just DM me like, bro, what are you talking about?
Like, because you said it I mean, I just to an extent I agree, or I can understand where you're coming from. But then the fact that you pulled the example of American YouTubers, that's when I was like, you've taken it way too far now. Because you were saying how like American YouTubers were able to collaborate a lot more than UK YouTubers.
Yeah.
They seemed a lot more friendlier.
Yeah.
But besides one incident within the UK fashion community where there was at a point when I think Magnus and Kofi weren't meeting eye to eye on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Besides that, I can't think of a single beef element. Like everyone knows each other to a certain extent. They know what each other's niche are, and we've all to a certain extent have collaborated quite openly. Whereas American fashion YouTubers, they've been riddled with beefs. Like, I swear they were like beefing not all the time, but like Blake and the other guy and this guy and that guy. So when you said that, I was like, really? But yeah, no, I think since then and since that video, I feel like you've sort of rallied a lot of content creators that are, I don't want to say smaller, but like more up and coming, and you've been able to create some cool stuff like these live streams.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, and I completely see where you're coming from. I just disagreed massively at the time.
Yeah. What do you think about like what needs to change, so to speak, on YouTube, fashion YouTube though?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a voice to even say like that needs to change. Do you know what I mean? Who the fuck am I? Yeah, genuinely.
Very, very modest.
No, it's not genuine. It's not though, because see, that's the thing. Like, I feel like people are so self-entitled these days, and they think they have an opinion. They think they must have an opinion on everything. And I know that's super like, what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck, where's the word I'm looking for? It sounds quite dark. Like you're not allowed to. But you know, some people just fucking talk just for the sake of talking.
Yeah.
And I'd hate to be one that just fucking chats shit without knowing what I'm talking about. So what needs to change with fashion YouTube? I don't know. Please do enlighten me. Like, I know that when someone's doing it and when they're doing it right, I can see them doing it right. So
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Someone said, what's an item that you've regretted not buying at the time?
That was a great green cuff jackets to wake up.
What would you say?
Regret not buying.
Let me give you an example, because like for me, what happens is like something's on sale, and I'm just like waiting. All right, it's gonna go on sale a little bit more, and then by then it just sells out.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you if you wanted it at that price, you would have got it,
Yeah.
right? Meaning that
Good point. Good point.
meaning that you couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel. Like, the reason why I don't think I have any regrets of me not buying it is because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But I guess that is still a regret. Well, yeah, there's fucking loads of things that I want to buy that I can't afford. I will put a spin on that and say an item that I've sold that I regret massively was the Haider Ackermann pink floral.
Oh no.
The
I didn't even know you sold that.
The silk bomber. I still have the velvet, which is way over there.
Yeah.
But the silk, I sold it, and I'm just there like, oh, fuck. Pissed.
Oh yeah, another good question, because I know you go to those Antwerp sales.
Yeah.
How good are those? Because I've actually considered going like for the next one, but I'm not sure. Are they actually? Yeah. Even for like bigger sizes?
Especially for bigger sizes.
Seriously?
Especially for bigger sizes.
Wow, I need to head out there.
It's like, you know how like in sale you only find stuff in like extra small and extra large.
Oh yeah, good point.
Well, it's that.
Yeah.
You find like, obviously you'll find a good selection of like the smalls and the mediums, but it's primarily just the big sizes, and the big sizes usually like marked down crazy. So you should 100p.
That's perfect for me.
Go. I haven't been the last time just because a lot of the pieces that I wanted to keep that I wanted were like old stuff. So I got like all the pieces that I wanted.
Yeah.
There's still a piece here and there that might come through, but like I've got my perks, I've got my relationship. Yeah. It's just like prior to even happening, I know what piece is going to go, and I can be like, oh, can I have that? Can I have that? Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Oh, some more deep questions about Sanjay's ethnicity.
I know this isn't a fashion. How do you feel about background? Curious, and I'm also Sri Lankan Tamil. Don't mean by anything political, just how you see yourself culturally. It's a big question, but I don't know if it's a question. Yeah. Like, what do you mean by how do I feel about it?
It's guys are asking us how much our outfit is.
Nike hat, vintage. I think it's at $35. Jumper, vintage.
Bucks. This guy's been in LA too long. Way too long.
It was purchased in LA.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
And the jumper again, vintage, purchased in LA, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
On to the previous question. What was the question trying to ask? Like, whoever asked that question, if you wouldn't mind giving me more information or more detail as to what you want to know. Is it with regards to how I feel being an Asian face in the fashion industry, or how I'm able to navigate life?
Yeah.
You know.
Another question: how old are you guys, and what age did you say you got your foot into the fashion industry through internships? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. So I've just turned 27. Wait, 20? Yeah, I've just turned 27.
Did you forget your age?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, literally like 2 weeks ago. But we've been in lockdown. I don't even know what date it is or whatever. And what age did I get my foot in the fashion industry through? I mean, my foot in the fashion industry was prior to the internships through education. So I would consider from being at uni, which was 19.
Yeah. I'm 22. And in terms of like foot in the fashion industry, I'd say my first internship, because like before then, I was like interested, but like I don't think I thought I was more interested than I actually was, basically. And then when I did the internship and I started learning, I was like, oh, and I actually realized there was like so much stuff I didn't know, and that's what sparked my curiosity to find out more about stuff. So I'd say my first internship, that was, how old was I? I was like 17 when I did my first internship. Yeah.
Before you go on to the next question, the guy just added some more bits. He was like, culturally, how Sri Lankan do you feel? For example, I'm proud of my background, but I feel like I don't fit in with the kind of people who go to the Tamil sock. Fashion side of it would be amazing as well. Bro, like, it might come as a surprise because of, you know, how I dress or what I do, but like I'm still so close, like super close to my culture. Just because, I mean, it's something as obvious as our skin, so we can't exactly you know, let me jump out, take my brown skin off, and put the white skin on, and then crack on with my day. You know what I mean? So it's something that you're with, and you kind of grow with. How do I feel? Like, do you fit in with the kind of people, bro? Like, I'm a freshie at heart. You know what I mean? Like, I'll wear what I wear, but then I can speak the language, I can read it. I went to school for it. My parents forced me every Sunday, which was so long, but we did it. So, like, bro, I hated going to Tamil school growing up. I was like, who the fuck speaks Tamil? Like, I was like, no one speaks Tamil. I need it. No. But now I'm so thankful that my parents forced me. And yeah, I'm in a position where I can embrace it. So am I different to the people in the Tamil societies? Perhaps, but I don't see that as a barrier for me to not be able to speak to other people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can agree as well. Like, you've got very similar experience with obviously the African side of things.
Yeah. It's just a bit like, because I lived in like Nigeria for like 6 years.
Okay.
So it's through that I feel more. Before then, I was just like, yeah, I just don't care. And then
to anyone that might be curious, whenever a Nigerian person who was born in the UK got sent back to Nigeria, around, and their dad was like, yo.
Bro, do you want me to actually tell you the story why I went to Nigeria? I can actually tell you, bro. So basically, what happened, so I went to this school, like this primary school, and these two guys were bullying me. But the reason, we're gonna get there. But the reason they were bullying me was because my parents, African parents, are like, don't fight back. Because you're black, you'll get into trouble. The white boys won't get into trouble. That's what my parents told me, basically.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fair enough. So I was getting bullied. I was like, well, I can't really fight back because my parents told me not to.
Yeah.
So my parents had to take me out of that school and take me into another school because of that.
Right.
And then it started happening again. And in my head, I was thinking, well, my parents are not here. Yeah, a sister. Like, just my sister. That's it. Yeah. So I was just thinking, well, my parents are not really going to do anything. Teachers say, oh, report to the teachers. Nothing happens. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to have to start fighting back. And the first time I decided to fight back, I got this guy's head and smashed it into my knee, and his mouth split open.
Jesus Christ.
And then because of that, they brought like a psychiatric doctor because they thought I was like mentally unstable just because I got in one fight. Wow. So it was a thing where my parents were like, if like she sees you, it's going to be on your record for the rest of your life that like you're mentally unstable type of thing. So it's like, yeah, you just have to go to Nigeria. And I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Duck out for 6 years. That's mad.
So that's actually why I went to Nigeria. Yeah, it's peak.
Actually mad. Man grew up watching all them Nollywood films.
But what's funny is when I went there, I was like, no, this is going to be peak. Like, it's just going to be like dead. Like, people just like not going to think like me. And then I've gone to like Nigeria, and it's just like London ×2, like London on steroids. Yeah. And like most of the kids, well, in the city, obviously, there's like a big social divide, like economic divide. But most of the people in the city are like way richer than my friends were in London.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, and because I was from England with an English accent, they were like, yeah, you're the English guy. Come here. Like, come. We've got a private yacht. This is our party here. And I had the best time of my life. I'm not even going to lie.
Mad.
In Nigeria, which is crazy.
Sick.
You guys are laughing at my story. So this guy has a question for you.
I'm 4 years into a fashion design advertising degree. I've recently started a company at 19. You're 4 years into a fashion design? You started your design degree at 15. How can I make a connection or internships? What I should gravitate towards? I'm a stylist, designer, model. Okay. Wait. Ah, fuck! You got rid of the question.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Oh, sick. No. How can I make a connection? I feel like you'd be a better answer to that because I went down a super non-traditional route. But my understanding, anyway, when it comes to this stuff, it's, you know, just talking to the people that you're on this degree with. I think that's probably the best way to start it. Then obviously look towards any communities or any groups of people that you can get involved with online, and then from there it's just like word of mouth, exchange information. Oh, I've got someone that can help you out. Oh, you know, you might be able to pull this for me. No. Next thing you know, you've got someone's email that you might be able to get in contact with. At least that's how I think it should go. Could be wrong.
No, I totally agree, because it's like, if you're doing a design course, that means when you graduate, everyone's going to be interning or seeking a job, let's say. Well, most in fashion. So what's going to happen is, if you're in contact with all those people, as they progress in their careers, those are all contacts and links you have in the industry to where you could make things happen. But it's all down to like how you network, in my opinion.
Oh,
and a lot of fashion is like who you know type of thing.
Sorry, bro.
No,
that Instagram story that I put up didn't even upload. I just put it up, and it just said uploading. I was like, what? Right, cool. Well, it's just gone up now, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. This guy said I was kicking ass. No, bro. No. Nah. That is hilarious.
How have you been during this whole lockdown situation, though? Like, is your family like, are you staying with the family, or are you isolating on your own, or?
No, I'm literally with family. But I just don't know what to do with my time. Like, there's just nothing to do, because I'm not really working. The job's gone. In terms of uni, I don't know when that's going to start. So that's another thing. So the only option is to like just make content and stuff. But even content, I don't want to like overdo it. So I'm just like, I just give it space. For the most part, I've just been like watching, like doing different courses, trying to learn new skills type of thing.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do currently. It's just like to just come out of it a fucking beast. Like, just read and, you know, try and get some
knowledge. Like, someone said, how do you survive doing unpaid internships?
Yeah, it's tough, but like, bro, if you really want, like, I know this is a really, again, a bad thing to say, especially in today when you should be really seeking, like, you should, you know, fight for your rights or whatever bullshit. But it's like, if you really want it, you've got to make it work. And I might say that from a place of ignorance and you know, good fortune, because, you know, I'm in London, so I'm able to get a part-time job whilst also doing something like an internship. But somewhere else where it might be tough, where you can't get a part-time job or whatever it may be, they might be overworking you, in which case it's tough to do it. I don't know. It's tough, but like, right, if you want to make it work, you make it work.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like an entitled prick, but I've never actually done like an unpaid internship. I've done like 3. No, it's negotiation, isn't it? It's just like,
for sure.
I'm like, I can do this work, but like not for free. Like, at least pay me like.
So what did you get paid, or did they just cover your your travel, your food, and?
Yeah. Okay, no, cool. I got paid.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. The first one was minimum wage, but still paid. Like, it's better than most internships.
Yeah. Especially today, I don't think many even offer unpaid. Do they? I don't know.
I think it's still a culture. Like, I think it's still in fashion. It's like this expectation that like you're going to do a couple internships for free. Like, it's part of like the grind, which I'm so against. But yeah, luckily I've like gone through that. So hopefully I won't be doing any more internships. This is actually a good question. Any tips on growing a fashion YouTube channel?
Be consistent. Be honest. Yeah. And create some good shit.
Yeah. I'm sure he was expecting you to like
and create shit that you like, that you enjoy, that you are proud of. I think those are the most important. I'm sorry, that's not like, it's not like a quick hack to get okay, but it's like, that's the truth at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah. No, I could answer that question like in a deep way, but I think the most important thing for me, at least, is consistency. Like the times my channel has
on it anyway, so go check it out.
Yeah, but literally, like the times I wasn't consistent, I didn't see traction. The times I was consistent, I did see traction. So it's just like, as far as I'm concerned, consistency is like the most important thing. Oh yeah, I like what this guy said about being an entrepreneur nowadays shows all the fun stuff and success stories, but have you encountered any people who failed, and do you think it's sustainable for an amount of years?
As in, is he talking about being an entrepreneur being sustainable?
In terms of like sustainable, as in terms of like, can it actually sustain you as an income before you become successful, whatever?
Oh, it's so tough. Bro, like, this is the thing where it's just like, again, we live in times where everything is glamorized and everything, you know, we have the power to define how something is presented to the world, right? So we only show the glitz, the glamour, the good sides. And so, yeah, I've encountered plenty of people who have failed, who have now gone on to do good things, like myself included. I still don't think I've reached anywhere near what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't necessarily consider them, well, no, I definitely would consider certain elements failures, but, you know, it's all a growth. And I think, to me, it's almost needed. Like, if you haven't failed, I don't know, maybe it's just like a stupid way of looking at it. Like, to me, it's like, if you haven't failed, you A, haven't tried hard enough, or B, have had it way too easy, which makes it not as rewarding.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I totally agree. I'm literally in the same boat. I feel like every time I've failed, it's helped with my decisions moving forward, type of thing. So if I didn't have that failure, I wouldn't be as wise to make certain decisions. So in a way, like some failures can be blessings.
Yeah.
Someone said, when's the next video? Quang.
Man like Quang.
Man like Quang.
Good question. No, hopefully this week. So I wanted to do a video, like I mentioned, like during this whole Corona situation, everyone's sort of just chilling and taking a back seat, but at the same time, there is a sense of guilt where it's just like, okay, come on, you can do a fucking video. So I wanted to do a video well, I'm going to do videos during this time anyway, mostly on like a discussion based.
Yeah.
But whilst doing that, I also want to showcase some stuff. So I've got this fat box that needs to be unboxed. So I was like, okay, cool, why don't I do an unboxing whilst having a discussion on the question, what gives you the confidence to wear what you wear? And I want to try and answer that question. Like, it's a question that I get asked a ton, and I always give honest answers, but answers that are very sort of blasé, not blasé, but like they're very sort of surface level, which doesn't mean that they're wrong answers. It just means that I could go deeper. I just prefer not to, just because it's like, at the end of the day, I can say so much, but if you yourself don't feel it, then you're not going to be able to do it. Whereas hopefully what I'm looking to tackle with this video is me presenting all the points that I go through. And in doing so, you might be able to relate and use those skills to put that into practice.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing you mentioned that, because I remember you made this video with your brother, and he was saying how, I think it was the Rick boots, where he said that like you were wearing them and like people are looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, he just finds it mad. That's a good thing to bring up, because like for me, I don't know what it is, but when I'm just alone, I'm more conscious of it. But when I'm with my friends who like dress in like a more like outlandish way, I just don't even consider it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, that when I'm alone, I'm just like really conscious about it. I'm like, oh, why is this person staring at me? Yeah. So yeah, I'd actually like to. I'm not going to ask you now because you're making a whole video about it.
Yeah, amazing.
So we're not gonna spoil it.
Thank you, sir. Everybody, go check out. Links will be in the description box down below. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you later.
What confidence is usually primal from trying to get the
sex.
Oh, okay.
But no, yeah, I completely agree, and that's why I think it's interesting, because going back to what you said, especially with that video about my brother, like we dress for a completely different reason. Like my brother I'm not saying that's all he cares about.
Yeah.
Girls, that's a big part. And although I am somewhat similar, but then completely different in the fact that I don't see the clothing as a way to do so.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because most people do.
Yeah.
And
that being said, the way you dress, you do know that's gonna like pull a lot of girls. Just saying.
Who, me?
Yeah.
It will pull some girls.
There's a certain type of like the type of girl I'm talking about, like the fashion-y type of girl who like us. Yeah.
Fortunately, it's the girls that I'm into, and also it's like, I mean, it literally goes back to what you were saying earlier, and we were talking about being niche, right?
Yeah.
My fashion sense will allow me to pull a certain niche.
Yeah.
Whereas my brother's more broad.
Yeah.
Thing, he can just, cherry pick.
Yeah.
And obviously he's a good-looking dude, so you can do that anyway, regardless. So
yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah, is this person dissing you?
What did he say?
What was with the box braids?
Right, I love that shit, man. Like as soon as this corona is down, I'm heading back and I'm getting some more braids.
ASAP Jeeve.
I'm just trying to explore as many hairstyles as I can without taking a piss. Like there's certain things that I don't think I would do, but there's certain things that I'm willing to explore. Like I think I would personally draw the line at like cornrows. Sorry,
yeah.
Where it's like, okay, cool.
Do you think it's that deep? That's quite interesting. Do you think it's that deep?
Well, we've had that conversation, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was after the show, I think. It was
yeah.
I don't think it's deep, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not the one being offended, therefore I can't speak on it. Does that make sense?
Fair enough, yeah.
Because, and I don't want to offend anyone here, but like, if there is an issue on something to do with Asians, and a white person pipes up and they're like, well, you shouldn't find that offensive, because it's like, shut the fuck up, nobody else.
Yeah.
It's the same way for me with regards to
it.
So, hairstyles is a bit of an iffy one, and there are definitely certain people that can get pissed at it, and I completely understand it, but it's like, if I'm going to get braids, I'm going to get braids. If I want to, do whatever, then I can do whatever to a certain extent within.
What's this? Do you guys think fashion is going to drastically change the situation, like some people are saying, or eventually go back to normal? I don't know. Do you want to answer this question first?
By drastically change, I'm gonna put into, bruh. I'm gonna assume that you're talking about what, the fashion calendar changing due to the corona situation. Is that what
he means? Like fashion in general, so the calendar, how people dress, maybe like what people spend their money on.
Nah, fuck
that. Yeah,
it will always be whatever it is. Like you can not waste your time. Like you can sit here and try and predict what will happen, but something like COVID-19 comes out and just changes everything.
Yeah.
So, and this is like a perfect example of why you shouldn't really think too much about what could and what would, and just focus on the now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Someone write that shit down, boy. That's going to be a quote.
This guy started sucking his dick. Oh, do you still keep in touch with Enzo?
I still keep in touch with both of the boys. Yeah, just not. Sorry, I just farted. I'm just going to own up to it now.
I was actually not going to bait you out this time. But
nah, you didn't hear this one. This one was a silent one. Actually, there was one that was not silent, and then the second bit was silent. I do, however, we definitely don't speak as much as we used to, just because of our different timetables and stuff like that. So not as much, but every now and again we do.
What do you think of Enzo's YouTube channel? I find it hilarious. I find him so funny. I
think it's cool. So when he first told me about his whole YouTube thing, I think it's cool. But I did tell him, I personally find...
What, it's too negative for you?
I find negative shit corny.
Yeah.
Super ironic, because I had Get Wrecked on. Do you know what I mean? Because the reason why I wanted to get rid of Get Wrecked is like...
the negativity and...
being negative is so easy. This is what I keep
saying. Yeah.
It's easy to take the piss out of someone. It's easy to roast people. It's easy to be negative. Like, it's so easy.
Yeah.
So I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's not for me. It's funny at times, but it's like, yeah, it's not for me. So I just keep doing it.
Yeah, that's cool because I think that topic came up in like one of the live streams as to why you stopped Get Wrecked.
Yeah.
And it was because like it was too negative, and at the end of the day, people were saying what people said. This is not like even me. This is more people in the chat. They said that they feel like Enzo and James were more pushing you to be more negative than you would be if it was just you, type of thing.
Well, it's definitely, from their point of view anyway, it's easier for them to just go ham because it's not their people, if you want to call it that. Like,
yeah,
they were just characters on a channel, right? So they could just go fucking crazy. And it goes back to what I was saying, where it's like, if I wanted to, I could take the piss out of every single person, like you, me, everyone. I could take it, and it's so easy because, especially with dressing, it's very much opinion based. But my point was, it just didn't make sense for me to say, wear whatever everyone wear, push the boundary, have fun, then express yourself, and then the next 2 videos being like, ha ha ha, you didn't crop the trousers to the certain length.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
You're an idiot. 5 out of 10. Like, it goes back to what I was saying. It's like, who am I to tell you what to do? But then it's a twisted way because people wanted that shit and people love.
It's strange. It's strange.
It's very weird. Like, people still send me outfits. I'm like, I haven't got that for like a year, 2 years. Like, what do you want me to, like, sometimes I just want to rip into them there and then and be like, this is what I would have said if it wasn't Get Wrecked. And I'm like, nah, don't do it.
No, I do agree with you. It is kind of a contradiction to, like, on one hand say express yourself, and then the other hand say that's wrong.
100%. If it was on a different channel, then yeah, maybe. But it just wouldn't. To me, it just didn't make sense. And it goes back to what we were saying, which is like negativity is just dead.
Yeah. Someone's asking you about perfume.
Is perfume
What's
important?
your favorite perfume?
My favorite perfume. Perfume is super important just because you want to smell nice. What's my favorite? I tend to mix a lot of my perfumes, usually 2 or 3 fragrances, normally 2. Every now and again, if it needs a kick, I'll go for the 3rd. So it's never just the one.
Yeah.
I love Byredo. I love some Tom Ford smells. What else do I love a lot? Recently, I've been rinsing the All Saints stuff. So like, it was sent to me as a gift.
Yeah.
Like, man, what the hell? But mixed it with the Tom Ford, it smells banging.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Someone even asked like a lead-up question to that, kind of like a continuation.
Okay. Has interest in fashion led you down other relatable rabbit holes, designs, perfumes? I mean, yes, but like, I wouldn't want to. I think anybody that's into fashion in a certain extent or way appreciates art.
Yeah.
Would you say so? Is that
I would say so. I think once you're into fashion, you have an appreciation of like just any artistic expression. So you see everything that way.
Yeah. So led you down other relatable rabbit holes? Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
Would I ever want to? I don't think I would sit here and tell you like, oh, I could develop my own scent. Like, I definitely could not develop my own scent. However, I think I could design a pretty good bottle.
Yeah.
For a scent. There is one question I want to answer, which is, was it difficult coming to terms with the fact that you no, as soon as he baited me out, I was like, okay, go for it. So,
to be fair, it doesn't, it's how you do it. Because I have a friend who, like, in school, all the girls used to like him, and he just used to fart openly. So it became a thing where it's just like, yeah, it's just him. But if anyone else farted, it'll be like a big deal.
Oh, really? Okay. And
so,
plus, like, I'm in my room. Like, if I
fart, bro, it's not that deep. It's not
exactly.
that deep. People make it deep, but yeah. Wait, let me see what the questions are. Kind of lost track. For all you art heads, so that's my vid. Oh yeah. All right. So this guy here, Genesis, he made a YouTube channel recently, and he's quite cool because he's a hairdresser.
Okay.
So he's into like avant-garde fashion, high-end fashion, but he comes from the perspective of a hairdresser, which is really cool. So he will like point out things like, oh, the hair in like this com show, this, that. So when you have time, he'll be good to check out, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah. What this person say? Will this fashion YouTube niche ever become mainstream where we'll see more creators like online vlogs have an average of 1 million views?
Never say never, but at the same time, I think fashion overall is too much of a niche.
Yeah.
But saying that, big fashion creators do pull 1 million views anyway. It's just that we don't know them. Like some of the big fucking women fashion YouTubers, they're pulling mad views.
Yeah. I do feel like women get more views than men in general, and the only reason for that is because more women are into fashion than men. So that just makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be seeing some woman just like, "Hi guys," and it's 1 million views. I'm like, damn, I wish.
Hey, how many? Actually, no, fuck that.
What are you gonna ask? What are you gonna?
I was gonna say, I know that during this lockdown, people are acting mad and a bit books.
Yeah.
How many DMs have you slid in during the whole lockdown? I know people are moving mad these times, bro.
How many DMs have I slid into any?
Are you
No, that's a
DM kind of guy.
That's a. I'm not really too much of a DM guy.
Okay.
How I move is like how basically if I see someone in real life, I like move it to Snapchat. But then after Snap, I don't really like texting.
Okay.
I'm more of like a
cool.
video call person. Yeah.
So, video call. Oh wow.
Yeah. You gotta have the proof of the looks, boy. Especially if I haven't met you. Like, come on.
What?
But yeah, for the most part, there's probably only like a couple people. Yeah. I subscribe to every OnlyFans account. Nah, bro. Nah.
I've heard a lot spoken about it, but I haven't. I think that would be like, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to judge anyone for it. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want to do. It's like, bro, you're paying someone for some news? Like, yo, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
But hey, do it.
Who would win a 1v1 ping pong challenge? Oh, no, bro. I have no idea. I'm terrible at table tennis.
Listen, let me just put it out there. I will beat AO in every single sport except for maybe basketball. Because you could probably be a semi-pro. Okay,
do you actually believe you'll beat me in every single sport?
Yeah.
So do you think you're a faster runner than me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely?
Yeah.
Do you actually believe that?
Yeah, I fully believe it.
We need to put this to the test. Once this thing is over, we actually need to put this to the test.
Let's go race.
I'm done. So wait, you think you're better than
100 meter or 200 meter though? I don't want to do all the long distance bullshit.
Either we can do both. I'll win, bro. Yo, SANGIEV thinks he's got burners. He thinks he's rapid.
I got burners, man. You might have hot. I can.
Bro. Not to be too race baity, but bro, have you seen the Olympics 200 meter and 100 meter lineup?
I have.
How many Asians do you see there?
No, I'm telling you, I'm a fucking an anomaly. Like I said,
the special one, the chosen one,
except for basketball.
Football. So you think you're better than me at football?
I would smoke you. So bad.
This is actually so much fun.
I would.
No. I'm actually gonna hold you to this after this whole thing's done.
Circles around you in football. It's mad.
Wait, what position do you play? Are you a striker or are you a winger?
Striker. I play on the wing every now and again. To be fair, it's like CAM, winger, striker, that sort of.
This guy's trying to be Lewandowski and Tony Cruz at the same time. Like, bro.
Ready, bro.
No. For me,
ready.
It's perfect for me because I play like DM. Like, I'm more of a DM, CDM type guy.
Yeah. Well,
so,
bro. You're tall as fuck and you're like wham. So
bro, no one is passing me, bro.
They're only gonna put you in the back, but then
no one is winning headers over me.
True.
No one is passing, bro. And I've got burners. Obviously, you think you've got burners. You think you've got burners.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. Yo, this guy said you go swimming in Wyatt boots.
No.
Wait, what do you say? Sans looks like a winger. Yeah. Yeah, he does, but he thinks he's got techers. Someone's saying you've got the techers. Hey, we need to see. Where's the proof? We need some video evidence.
Like, it's actually nuts how much I was smoking in football. Like, I'm sure you would absolutely torch me in basketball. I think you would kill me in basketball. If we were to play a game of 11,
yeah,
I would maybe get the off or two. Do you know what I mean? But
I like the confidence.
Basketball is the one thing that I only learned to appreciate. Like we spoke about this, right? I only learned so recently. Like I enjoyed playing it as a kid, but obviously me being like stopped growing after I was like 5'8" or whatever, there was no point for me to even play basketball. But I enjoy it a lot. I think it's such a sick sport, and now like understanding it,
it's never too late. You can learn how to play basketball quite quickly.
Exactly. NY typical. Have you seen the average size of ball is 6'4" ain't good. Facts. Facts. Too slow. By the time you do one scan, I'll be gone. I'll be gone.
Bro, I don't know about all of that, bro.
I'll be gone.
I don't know about all of that.
We need a fashion YouTuber sports comp. I've said this.
I don't mind, bro.
Where like, yo, it would be sick to organize like a 5-a-side football.
Yeah.
And get like a bunch of us to play.
Yeah.
That'd
be dope. To be fair, I haven't played football in time, but like when I used to play, bro, I was actually nice.
So hold on, you were nice. All this time for someone that hasn't played in time.
Bro, the thing is, it's just like muscle memory. Once I touch the ball one touch, everything's gonna come back to me. I'm like, yeah. This is what it feels like. See, my techers is I'm not skillful, but I'm just like I'm clinical. Precision. Long range passes, like those special passes in between the lines, you get what I mean? Those through balls, killer through balls.
You're playing in CP. You ain't doing any through balls, bro.
No, I play centre mid.
Oh, centre mid.
Yeah. That's what I said.
In the back.
No. I play CM, just like more of a holding CM. So the CM that's like
a senior, like a central defender.
Yeah, exactly. So I like pick up the ball and then advance the ball.
Okay. Damian Ramos, Fernando will destroy everyone. Bro, I would run rings around Fernando as well.
He said Fernando's Lionel Messi.
I've seen Fernando play football back in the days, mate.
Is he actually good? Is he good?
He used to play a lot. A lot. Then he just started wearing boots and stopped.
I always think of like Americans. Do they even play? Because to them, they think like soccer's like for girls. Soccer.
They don't really play soccer. They play basketball and
American football, isn't it? Yeah. Wait, what? Fernando could have made the US national team, bro. You're capping, bro.
No, the second part, but he sacrificed his career.
His career to Arca. My God, this is jokes.
But I'd still run absolute. I mean, let me think. Fashion.
Bro, this confidence is high.
Bro, there's two things I'm very confident about.
The two things I'm confident about. Football, I'm just like gassing, but basketball and sprinting, bro. I used to sprint.
Yeah.
Like I have county medals for sprinting, bro.
Jeez, keyword.
Like not even. I'm not gassing.
Can I say the keyword?
What? Had.
You used to and had. Things have changed, boy. Mate, I'm excited for this. I'm excited.
No, this is actually going to be so hilarious. Literally, just
going to be
me just sprinting again.
Hilarious.
Like people timing, like, yo, who's first? Who's first?
They call football in America gay. Lots of American boys play soccer. Yeah, now for sure.
Yeah.
My guy is going to pop those balls with titanium boots. Yeah, if you ain't tall and wham, Americans don't care about your athleticism. Facts. Ayo got them injured knees though. Facts.
Bro, all of that doesn't matter. I've still got burners. That does not matter. I've still got hops. Knees or no knees, bro.
Yeah.
I'm still going up. So,
right, it's like what I was telling you.
Yeah.
Basketball, right? I appreciate the game, and I think it's a fantastic game. But why do we get so hyped about dunks when it's
I have no idea.
6'5" motherfuckers that can touch the rim just by jumping a tiny bit.
Yeah.
That's so impressive. Like when you dunk, I'm like, what's so like you're what, 6'4"?
I'm 6'3".
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're still tall as fuck. You're 6'3".
No, but think about it this way though. Steph Curry's my height and he can't dunk like me. Just think about it that way.
Are you comparing yourself to Steph Curry?
No way, no way.
Because boy, you're talking about confidence. That's going for it.
Bro, we're talking about hops specifically.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Steph Curry dunk a basketball in your life?
I've actually seen. There's a few highlights of him dunking. You know.
Is he? But some some just about getting to the rim.
Yeah, it's a bit peak. But yeah, there's a couple of dunks where it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know he had those hops. Like if you looked at, I think it was like a summer league game where they had a bunch of basketball players, but obviously in those summer league, like the defense is not even on point, so they can just kind of just fuck around and just dunk. But yeah, so
everyone's saying I'm capping.
Nah, I've seen AO dunk a few times, but we are gonna slip the fact that he just compared himself to Steph Curry. But we're gonna let that one slide.
This guy's definitely trying to get me cancelled.
Dunk on a windmill.
Oh my god! How this guy said I'm 6'5" and I can't dunk? How is that possible?
What is that? How,
bro? If you leave the ground at 6'5", you'll be able to dunk, bro. I assure you.
Yeah. What? Like.
Oh yeah, they're just trolling. He's like, I'm 6'9", I can't dunk. All right, fairs. Oh my god, this is actually funny how it went from a fashion chat to a sports chat.
Yeah, but I much prefer like talking about
same. I was literally in the other live streams, like we were saying that because people think like we only care about fashion for some reason.
Oh, bro, like that's why even when I do sometimes some of my Q&As on Instagram, I'm like, yo, non-related fashion questions, please. Yeah, it'll be amazing. Fashion YouTuber thinks he can beat Steph Curry in one video. Yes, a bunch of AO's highlights, like him doing one bunks in some park somewhere where the rim doesn't even have fucking a net or anything.
Yo, it's the grind. It's the grind. I'm all about the streets.
I rate it.
No, that's hilarious. This guy, I still can't believe San said he's faster than me. No way. No way.
Yeah, I would. Oh my god.
No way.
Nah, I'd smoke.
Nah, I'm telling you, once this Corona thing's over, bro,
it's on, bro.
You better be your days are numbered, bro.
I would love to see you try and beat me in 100 meter and a 200 meter.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
As a system player, he did an 8-minute live stream. Fuck out of
here. 8-minute live streams are now greater than NBA careers.
What's your top 3 NBA players?
Who I think is the best, or just my personal favorites?
Your personal favorites.
All right, my personal favorites is Westbrook, Derrick Rose, and third ones are it's like it gets a bit iffy on the third, but I'd say LeBron.
Okay.
For now, but I like players who I could like emulate kind of what they do.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I can't be a LeBron. I'm not like 6'9". I'm not gonna jump from the free throw line and like do all that stuff, or like KD. But I could actually like emulate what Westbrook does, just power through everyone and just barge everyone out the way.
My guy is a brute. I love it. I love his style of play. He's such a beast. So passionate.
Sandra the Fiat Panda versus I, the BMW M5.
Boys, I'm telling you, it's going to be filmed. And if I lose,
Sands with the burners.
Chances will be extremely low. But if I lose, then I will gladly accept it. But I'm telling you.
Nah, Sands, what I do know is you play football a lot. So it would actually be so bad if like we played a football game and I outdid you, bro. That would be so bad.
Do you know what's baffling? Is the fact that you have the audacity to even think that you could outdo me in football. Like banners, like running, cool. You're black, you're gonna use that card against me, so it's cool, whatever. Football, like, and especially when you've just admitted that you haven't played it in so long, and yet you have the confidence. I rate it. I rate it.
Bro, you gotta believe in yourself.
Facts, 100%, 100%.
Hey, what did someone say? Top 3 football players. I'll let you go.
My top 3 football players.
Yeah. We can do current and then we can do like all time.
Oh, current, obviously Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and I love Pogba. I think he's a sick player. Those are my current ones. All time, Zidane, Fat Ronaldo, and this is where really I should put either Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, but Ronaldinho is just too much of a G, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, Ronaldinho is a god, bro.
Well, like, don't get me wrong, the person that made me fall in love with football was always Zidane, but the person
for me it was Ronaldinho, bro.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. For me, it was that was, well, it's also because I grew up in France, so obviously Zidane was more of an icon to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, when you watch Ronaldinho play, you're like, fuck, this guy's a fucking...
He is just... I don't understand him, bro. He's just...
so good. He was so good. So
I would hate to defend him. I feel sorry for defenders, bro. Like, imagine you're like an actual defender and you're like, oh, we've got Ronaldinho today. Like,
It's actually mad. What was it once saying? No light in life is boring without sports. Facts.
Yeah, facts.
Great football player. Like, I wasn't like
Fat Ronaldo. Yeah, Fat Ronaldo is
Fat Ronaldo, the GOAT.
Tiger Woods is the beast. I've never really been a golf guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, I know who Tiger Woods is, but like I've never really followed golf like that.
I was still doing like mini golf though. Zidane, Pastore, Schneider.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ronaldinho used to party too. Yeah, that's what they did say. He like had problems like
even now he's in the jail, isn't he?
He's
in jail in some South American country because he used a fake passport. I don't know if this story is true or not.
No way.
I'm sure it is. But yeah, he's using a fake passport to get
his life just went downhill. He was like at Barcelona, then at AC Milan, then at like Corinthians, I think, and then in some like Mexican League 2, and now he's just like in prison. That's just
Yeah, he's done a madness. I feel like he's someone that, I mean, I don't know him, so I always think, like, he probably lives the life to fullest and just fucks around. Not a single fuck.
Yeah. Wait, someone's saying your cousin goes to CSM and does journaling. Bro, I'm not there yet, so I don't know anyone. Like, I'm going first year in September, so I wouldn't know him. Kevin De Bruyne, yeah, Kevin is, he's crazy. Do you know what I hate? As a Chelsea fan, why is it that every time we sell players, they become good?
Well, what does that mean? What does that say?
It's so annoying. What are you trying to say? Well, for the most part, our academy players, though, it means we have a good academy, but we just don't know how to insert them into the,
Nah, De Bruyne is a beast. The current king, though, I don't know about that, but he's a king. What you man think of tennis? Bruh, fucking love tennis.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of tennis.
Love tennis. I love playing it. Again, it's a sport that growing up, like, I didn't really care for it, just because this is going to sound super bad, but like, I grew up in like the ghettos of France, and we didn't see tennis. Like, tennis was like a posh sport.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I came to England when I was like, oh, okay, everyone can play tennis. Like, it's not, you know.
I wish I played tennis. It seems like fun. I like to watch it, but I can't play it.
Oh, okay. It's so much fun to play, bro. So much fun.
I can imagine.
Like, after the beating for the 100 and 200 meter, we'll pick up a racket and I'll show you.
I like the confidence.
Yeah.
No, I was always a like football, basketball, athletics, and rugby guy. Did you ever play rugby?
I loved rugby, but that's the one thing where, again, I'm not going to gas it too much because 6'4", however much you weigh, you could probably flatten me. But that's one sport where I would love to play. And if we do play, we've got to get Daniel Simmons involved.
Oh, Daniel Simmons is he's hench, bro.
He's a tank.
He's a unit. I'm not having him tackle me, bro.
Nah, I want to play him. That's the thing. Like, he gives it so much, and we always argue about football versus rugby. And I'm like, yo, let's play. Let's actually play. Let's play.
We need like loads of people that's actually like play a proper game, but that would be so much fun.
Like, I was just like, who was that? I don't know. I was having this conversation with someone where it's just like, imagine all these different fashion YouTubers playing football or whatever. And I was like, who would play what position and how would they look on the ball? And I was just cracking myself up thinking of these people.
Wait, does Magnus play football?
Like, he can kick a ball and he
can kick a ball.
Like, I played with him once and he's decent. He's decent.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what? He's one of those.
I'm trying to see who could like play the game if we like actually made one.
Well, he's not a fashion YouTuber. He's more of a fashion Instagrammer. Do you know a guy called Soul?
Yeah.
Soul's World. He plays football. Do you know a guy called Jay Hines?
No, I don't think I know who that is.
On Instagram. He plays football. A good friend of mine called Jordan Bunker.
Oh, I know Jordan Bunker. I've seen him in your videos, yeah.
He plays football. I've never played with either of like any of those guys, but I know they play. So yeah, if we were to do it, it wouldn't just be fashion YouTube. It would have to be like fashion YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Social media, like Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah. Because they used to do stuff like, who was it again? I think it was The Basement. They used to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think The Basement.
Like the football games, yeah. Do they actually?
Yeah, Basement still do some football games. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly confident they do some sort of physical activity on a somewhat regular basis.
No way. Ari Patru plays football. I never knew that.
Does he?
He could have techers. He's got like, I feel like he's the physique. He could just be a cheeky.
The target man up top would be lethal. You have not seen Magnus try to control a ball. He would not be lethal anywhere on the field. But I give the guy credit. He plays with heart. He's great. Like, I love people where if they're not the best player, they will still run around and like give it their all. Those are the best players. Like, I love them.
Yeah. This guy just called American football rugby with protection.
Jeez, you're gonna fucking.
You're about to start a war in the comments section.
You're about to defend Bearmans. I'm gonna have to dip.
Oh yeah, that's cool, bro. I've kept you for so long, 2 hours. I'm surprised you've even not gone, bro.
Is that the time that I stayed, or the time that you've been live for?
No, the time you stayed.
Oh, wow.
It was literally 2 hours, yeah. But thank you very much for joining the stream, bro. This was really cool.
Yeah, facts. This was a lot of fun, and I can definitely see why
they go on for so long. Yeah.
Why they go on for so long. You can doing them. But yeah, no, thanks for having me, and hopefully we were able to answer some questions that might have piqued some people's interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Like, I really do appreciate it.
And I shall see you on the football pitch or the... Bro, I'm telling you, it's got to be done. Like,
this guy.
As soon as Corona is done, I'll give you some time to train because I don't want Don't want to just, bro. It's going to be embarrassing if we don't train and then pull up on the field and it's just like, Jesus Christ. I'm trying to be nice here. What you saying? Got to show these cats that it's obvious that guys into fashion are into other things. Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
For sure. But yeah, no, have a good evening.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Right. Thank you for having me. And also, bro, fucking massive. Too much of a pro to get into the roasting hours. Is it roasting hours now? Is that what happened?
No, after like 4 hours, people just start roasting people. I don't know why it's just a thing. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, you lot have to massive shout out to AO for doing these lives, but for a long time. And I don't know if you do get paid for this or whatever, but like to put your time out there for free, ratings, bro.
Yeah.
Massively for everything that you do for the community. It's good for everyone. Yeah. You put loads of people on as well, which is, again, hats off to you, my guy. Yeah,
thanks so much, bro.
Have a good one, yeah? Stay safe, everyone. Enjoy your lockdown. Quarantine. Quarantine. Did you see Tory Lanez and stuff?
Yeah.
That guy's mad. He's actually mad. All right, safe.
All right, safe, bro.